Yes, today we'll solve another problem. Open loop gain system is given g of s into h of s, which is equals to k divided by s of s plus 3, s square plus 3s plus 3. So first step is to identify poles and zeros. So s term is there, s equals to 0, s plus 3, I wrote it here, s equals to minus 3. Then for this root, we are having s equals to minus 1.5 plus 0.8j, s equals to minus 1.5 minus 0.8j, right? So next is zeros, identifying zeros. There is no s term, so there is no 0. Then second step, whether p is greater than z or z is greater than p. Yes, we are having 4 poles which is greater than 0, so n is equals to p is equals to 4, right? Third step is p minus z, 4 minus 0 equals to, which is equals to q. So q is equals to 4 means there will be 4 variables, that is q equals to 0, 1, 2, 3. So for q is equals to 0, what is the value of theta? Q is equals to 1, what is the value of theta? Like that, find the value for each q, right? That you will get 45, 135, 225 and 315. Next is centroid. Summation of real number of poles minus summation of real number of zeros. So consider only real numbers, 0, minus 3, minus 1.5, minus 1.5. These are imaginary, 0.8j are the imaginaries. So consider only real numbers. Okay, so I had considered only real numbers, 0, minus 3, minus 1.5, minus 1.5, minus 0 divided by p minus z is 4. So rho you will get minus 1.5. So after centroid, we are having breakaway point. So first we need to check with respect to graph whether breakaway point is existing or no according to the prediction. Okay, so before that we will draw the diagram till centroid. So you can see here we are having 4 poles, s equals to 0, s equals to minus 3, s is equals to minus 1.5 plus 0.8j, s equals to minus 1.5 minus 0.8j, right? So from the right hand side, this is first pole, so root locus is existing and I had marked it by RL. So other terms, other side I had wrote NRL, that is no root locus. Okay, so I had marked centroid as minus 1.5, then this is theta 1 45, theta 2 135, theta 3 225, and here you will get theta 4 which is equals to 315 degree. Okay, then regarding breakaway point, so when two adjacent poles are there and in that if root locus is existing, then there will be a breakaway point. So we will solve breakaway point now. 1 plus g of s into h of s equals to 0. So we'll get this equation if you solve it. Then remember, breakaway point means dk by ds equals to 0. So we need to find the k equation. So k I will take it on the left hand side, other terms on the right hand side. Then I will differentiate it. See, 4s cube minus 18s square minus 24s minus 9. So after differentiating, so this you put it in your calculator in equation, then you will get 3 roots. So for each root, for this s1, s2, s3 I will mark it. s1 put it in the k equation, you will get the value of k. Similarly s2 put it in k equation, you will get k. s3 again put it in this k equation, you will get the value of k. So the k with positive, that s will be selected. So all k are positive, so all s will be selected. Okay, so the breakaway point I will mark it here. One is minus 2.36 here, minus 2.36 here I had marked down and I had mentioned it, minus 2.36 breakaway point, this is here. Similarly minus 0.63 somewhere here, 0 to minus 0.5 minus 0.63 will be here, 0.63 breakaway point. So third is S3 is minus 1.5. Here also I had mentioned S3 minus 1.5. Okay, minus 1.5 breakaway point. So after breakaway point, next is intersection with imaginary axis. So 1 plus g of s into h of s will get this equation. This equation, the same equation I took here. Then I will form the Routh array. Highest order, then write in descending order. Then if this is s raised to 4, that is even number, write all even numbers. See, s4, 12, k. After that, s cube, this is cube, so odd number, write odd numbers, 6, 9. Then 6 into 12 minus 9 whole divided by 6, you will get 10.5. Right. Similarly, 6 into k, 6k minus 1 into 0, there is no term in 0, divided by again 6. 6 will get cancelled, k will remain. Right. Then similarly, to get this, 10.5 into 9 minus k into 6k, 6k divided by 10.5. Similarly, this whole term you consider it as a into k, ak minus 0 divided by a. See here, this whole term I am considering as a into k, ak minus this into this, there is no term in, it becomes 0 divided by a. So a and a will get cancelled, k will remain. So this is the formation of Routh array. So after forming Routh array, you are having unsolved equation. Right? Why unsolved equation? Means there is a k term, you cannot solve that. So take this unsolved equation, and find the value of k. Right? Then above this unsolved equation, you will be having auxiliary equation. Okay. Above this unsolved equation, you will be having auxiliary equation, 10.5 s square plus this will be s raised to 0. If this is s square, then here it will be s raised to 0. Okay, so 10.5 square plus k. You can see here auxiliary equation equals to 10.5 square plus k, where k is 15.75. Then you will get s is equals to plus or minus j 1.2. So you mark that. See here, s equals to 1 minus 1.2 plus 1.2j. I had marked that one and it has been indicated here. Right. Next is angle of departure. So when this angle of departure will exist? When in a question, if complex root is existing in the poles, then you should find pi d. Similarly, if complex root, if it is existing in the numerator, that is in zeros, then you should solve angle of arrival. So the difference between pi d and pi a is pi d is equals to 180 minus pi, where pi a is equals to 180 plus pi. Only this is the difference. Okay, so pi a means when complex root, if it is existing in zeros, when complex root, if it is existing in poles, then pi d. So we'll draw the pi d diagram, angle of departure. So 3 poles I had mentioned here. So I'll consider this complex root as pi d. Then I will mark a line for each pole and 0. So this I will take it as pi p1, this as pi p2, pi p3. Pi p1 we can directly say it is 90. Yes, 90 degree. In case of pi p2, this part it is 90. So pi p2 I wrote it 90. Okay. Then regarding this part, we need to find angle between these two. So I draw a line in between these two which shows opposite line. So 90 plus tan inverse of opposite by adjacent. Opposite, measure it 0 to 1.5. Opposite 1.5 root. Then adjacent, it is 0.8. Measure it 0 to 0.8. So opposite by adjacent. Right. So you'll get 151.92. Similarly, pi p3, in between these two we need to get the angle. So draw a line in the middle which shows opposite. Opposite is, measure it 0.8. So here also it will be 0.8 only. Adjacent, it will be minus 1.5 to minus 3 means minus 1.5. Right. So I wrote here pi p3 tan inverse of 0.8 by 1.5. Opposite is 0.8, adjacent is 1.5. You will get 28.072. Then add all pi p1, pi p2 and pi p3. Okay. Then you will get pi 180 minus that, you will get pi d is equals to minus 90. Okay. So minus 90 means somewhere here I mentioned pi d here minus 90. So this line you will get. Right. So this from pi d, it is meeting the breakaway point. Here we will be having one breakaway point now. So it will reaching breakaway point. Similarly, pi d is equals to plus 90 in this side. So again this also, here also root locus will come and it will be reaching the breakaway point. Okay. Now we are having another two breakaway points. From this breakaway point root locus will come, it will intersect the imaginary axis plus 1.2j and it will move with respect to asymptote. Similarly here also. And from this breakaway point, similarly it will go from this, you will get a mark here in your graph. Then again it will follow the angles. Here also angles. So totally 1, 2, 3, 4. N is equals to 4. You can see here N is equals to 4. Right. So if any queries, you please let me know. Thank you.